Many questions I'd like to ask our next guest, Turkish foreign policy analyst Bulent Aliriza. He's the director and senior associate of the Turkey project at the Center for Strategic and International Studies. Bulent, no claim of responsibility. Everyone seems to think this has the hallmarks of ISIL, well-coordinated, planned attack. Your reaction, sir?
It's unusual that it has not made a claim of responsibility. But that's typical of the attacks that have been attributed to ISIS in Turkey. They have not claimed any of them. So it's no surprise that they have not claimed this one, but you're absolutely right. It looks like one of its operations, and it's a major one. It was clearly coordinated, and unfortunately it was effective from their point of view.
So people their lives. Why?
It's a good know of that area throughout the Civil War, and also next door in Iraq. There's an ongoing fight, yet again, against ISIS or ISIL. And inevitably, Turkey is affected by what's going on there. Many of the fighters who've ended up in ISIS have gone through Turkey. Many of the perpetrators of the terrorist attacks in Europe have come back through Turkey. You know, Turkey happens to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, and unfortunately is suffering because of that.
You and I were talking just a few minutes ago, and you said the war in Syria isn't just in Turkey's backyard anymore. This is actually happening now, bleeding into Turkey.
It's very similar to what happened with Pakistan. Pakistan got involved in the Afghan civil war, and then eventually the Taliban that was active there ended up fighting the Pakistani army. To this day, Pakistan is having to deal with the, shall we say, the backfire of what was going on in Afghanistan. Unfortunately, for the foreseeable future, Turkey will suffer the after effects of what's going on in Syria. And let's not forget, there are almost 3 million Syrian refugees who are living in Turkey. Most of the refugees who ended up in Europe have come through Turkey, and the war in Syria is now effectively over the border and now in Turkey.
So on one front, Turkey is dealing with PKK militants. On the other front, it's dealing with ISIL. Do you expect a different strategy from President Erdogan with this latest attack?
Well, there's not much that he could do that's different to what he's been doing before. I mean, you're absolutely right. Turkey is facing the twin threats from PKK terrorism, with which it's been grappling for over 30 years, and now the terrorism of the Islamic State variety, which is a newer phenomenon, but just as deadly. And both of them, each one on its own, would be difficult for any country. Two of them together are going to be a major headache for the Turkish president, the Turkish government, and the Turkish people to come.
Bulent, you have been to this airport, to the Ataturk airport, many times. It's one of the safest and more secure airports around the world. But it's very clear not every single part of this airport can be 100% secure. There are still going to be vulnerabilities here.
That's the most frightening thing. I mean, as we saw with the Brussels airport and with the earlier attacks on airports, no matter how careful you are, how many measures you've undertaken, there's still going to be vulnerabilities in the system that the terrorists, increasingly with their sophisticated ways of finding those loopholes, can actually find those spots to attack. Even if you have the information before, you have to be 100% right all the time, and it's difficult to do that with terrorism of the kind that we're seeing today.
All right, we'll leave it at that. Bulent Aliriza, we really appreciate your time, sir. Thank you so much.